and welcome to Slice of Piefer. I'm Dr. Piefer. I have the blessing of Zooming here all the way from the Woodlands, Texas to Las Vegas with Marianne Rombola. Marianne, tell me, number one, welcome. This is so awesome to get to see you. So happy to have you here. I think it is amazing that we got to meet in Las Vegas, but even better that we get to chat here. Such a great person and such a blessing to the people who know you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so honored to be here with you and, all you offer to people in your services and how you help them heal, as well as your just vibrant personality and funny and just really attractive person. So, creating a space like that and having it all is wonderful to be in your space.
And absolutely the same for you, right? Because you're helping people rebuild their lives in some of the tough situations, but coaching people through challenges and leading as well.
Yeah. So the people that I support are actually, they're having an internal struggle. They may have it all on the outside, though on the inside for like years, there's been some type of suffering, right? So it's about, not just nurturing the seeds that exist. It's actually about replacing them.
Right.
So coming from a whole different perspective, not just getting better, but being and doing things differently.
Sure. And I love that. And I think when we talked, you said most of your clients, or do you have both male and female clients, or do you have, is it mainly men who work with you, or how does that work?
Yeah, I actually work with mostly men right now. So though I'm open to female, it just depends on the situation. So I take about 12 clients a year.
Awesome. And what are some of the big challenges you see? Because men obviously we can be a challenge in and of ourselves, I'm sure, in terms of especially dealing with kind of deep level pains and deep level scars that people are dealing with. I'm sure that can be a big challenge.
So the level of confidentiality for them to completely be vulnerable and themselves, to let go of any judgments, or, men like to be men, right? Masculine. So I allow them to create the masculine, be the masculine, but also tap into their feminine a bit more, where they need to go for that healing without any pride, ego, or, judgment.
Right. And that takes
themselves.
That is, one of the things that we've talked about a lot is just the high level of trust, right? You have to establish that trust because you're in a very high trust situation, right? Because obviously establishing that relationship, that must take time. So when you have clients, you said about 12 a year, do they usually work with you for a year, work with you for 2 years? Do they work with you for life? How does that work?
Yeah. So first of all, the initial program is a 12-month program. Okay.
Awesome.
So it's a commitment of 12 months because you'll start seeing the transformation actually occurring at the 3-month point. So we're here to build sustainability, right? And longevity. So it's a practice. So it's like, the first 3 months, yes, it's showing up. Now it starts to really live it. And then the next 3 months, and then the following 6 months is the embodiment.
Right. I love that.
After that, of course, I can remain in their lives if they would love me to remain in their lives. And some I have for years. Okay. I have a few people for a few years, and it's not the same program though. This is more a check-in and accountability on a month to month, not a week to week.
Right. That's so great.
Less intense. Yeah,
a little bit less intense, but still establishing that, because I'm sure reaching back and having a little bit of that personal touch or dealing with those as situations and life situations change, having that person to lean back on once, especially for men, when they have someone that they can trust and rely on, then that becomes an easy person to deal with those maybe not so easy challenges.
So I want to make sure I add, since I am a woman dealing with men, right? You would think that can you relate to a man? On that level, yes. Though in my program, I do send them out to a retreat, which is a little bit more masculine. So they stay in their strength and in their power and can see the masculine in them. And I actually partner with Bucky to do his fly walk. I don't know if you know Bucky O'Neill. So
I don't.
I have them all attend the fly walk. And if you haven't gone, You need to go.
Should do it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And now how long have you been in Las Vegas?
Oh my goodness. I moved here when I was 27 and I'm here 23 years.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're getting to enjoy now, I guess, in the wintertime, a little bit of warmth compared to the rest of the country. Or is it getting cold there?
For some reason, it feels a little bit chillier here these days. We do have days that are like at 68 and then they go down to 30 at night.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. That is wild because, and I guess with very little humidity, it can get pretty cold for those things. But oftentimes, are you wearing winter clothes? Typically, like, are you out in jackets when you're out at night? If it's 30 degrees,
at night, it gets cold.
Yeah, that's like New York weather.
Yeah, for sure. I have not a complete winter jacket. Like if you look on my Instagram, you'll see I'm in this like fox fur jacket when I was in New York for the holidays. That does not get really worn here unless I'm outside for like an extended amount of time. And I'm a person who does not like to be cold.
Yes, so. I love it. And then one of the other things you told me that I remember we talked about was a kind of more of a side, or not a hobby necessarily, but that you kind of remodel and redesign homes, right? Even up to whole homes, right?
Yeah, so I'm into real estate.
Yes.
I'm into real estate and remodeling homes, and it's a passion of mine. It's a hobby of mine that it doesn't feel like work, just like, doing the transformational coaching. And it really goes hand in hand, right? I'm remodeling lives, the internal, and then also the home, right? The physical portion. And yes, can I do that together with a person? Yes. Do I do it separately in two different entities? Yes, as well. And it's fun. And I do the remodel like from the foundation at the core, and so the inside is built as well.
So you get that parallel, right? You get the parallel from remodeling the home from the foundation, remodeling the person from the foundation, building them up. I think that's beautiful. That's a beautiful parallel that you're describing. Super, super cool. So what are some of the challenges that you see when you're remodeling homes, right? Because you're in now dealing with multiple contractors, I'm sure, trying to plan things and in addition to dealing with clients.
Yeah. So coming from service, I like a high level of service. And I'm always like, they're serving me, but how can I serve them?
Right.
And, that's in both businesses. They're both parallel. Okay. And it's what I find most challenging is the work ethic, the workmanship. I know good workmanship who have been trained and take time to do the job and the work, right? The work, not just the internal work, but the work in the quality. Like, if you're, working on somebody's knee, like how you're working the focus. And a lot of times with the men I work with, and a lot of times it's men I'm around in the construction industry, right? So I'm usually surrounded by men. It's really that. It's like, supporting them and guiding them to see, like, I can tell if somebody doesn't like their job, I don't want them working on the project.
Right. And that's a big challenge just in leadership in general and in life, right? Recognizing and uniting people around kind of the common purpose. What are we doing this for? And then how can we build it together so that everybody can thrive, right? So that not only can your project thrive, can your client thrive, but also the team that's lifting them up. I think that's really cool. Really, really cool.
But, I have to say with a person like that, I actually go into coaching mode. Like, what do you love to do? What do you like? Because I really want to set them on a path and set them free. Everything that I do is about freedom and ease.
Right. I love that. I love it. I love that so much. Now, and so prior to 23, where are you from?
Oh, you mean from 23 years ago?
Correct. You moved at 27, right?
Not 2023. 23 years ago.
Yes, correct.
I lived in Brooklyn, New York.
Nice. Mm-hmm. You can hear the accent. I love it.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
I love it. Very nice. But life brought you out to Las Vegas, huh? Across the country, and you're getting to enjoy it there, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, so I always had a taste for more rural areas. I did grow up in Brooklyn. I was fortunate enough to have a country home upstate New York that my parents brought me to. So once school was out, we always went upstate to the country house. Awesome. And that's where I fell in love with nature, with lakes, with, even getting dirty. I mean, I love raking leaves. Like,
That's awesome. Being out and getting into the environment, right? That's awesome. It's good to be outside. And oftentimes here, I mean, we live up in the woodlands just north of Houston. But downtown Houston is just all kind of a concrete jungle. I'm much like downtown New York, right? New York City.
Yeah. And you know what? I had to be honest with you, Las Vegas has shifted a lot since I moved here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's getting a bit crowded for me.
Really?
For my taste. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So I like to live here now, and I'm looking at, because I'm getting a real estate license in Connecticut because my cousin is in Connecticut, maybe working out there a little bit too, since, I want to live both coasts actually. I like that.
That's very cool. That's awesome. I don't even know if I've ever been to Connecticut. That's super cool. So,
oh my gosh,
we'll have to go visit.
It is surprisingly beautiful.
Yep, I believe it.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And now we met in Las Vegas at office hours for David Meltzer. How long have you known David?
So I'm going into my second year.
Nice.
Or third year.
Awesome.
Yeah, of knowing him. I'm losing count. And can I just tell you, he's just enhanced my life of coaching on the next level.
Awesome.
And that's actually now also part of my program. So it's the foundation.
Right.
And I have 2 levels. The first 6 months is called At the Core, and then Next Level Within. And really, I have to thank David for really bringing me there into this repetition of loving what you don't like.
Right. Tell me a little bit more about that, because getting into some of those harder parts, right? A lot of identifying either your weaknesses or identifying things that don't give you the greatest amount of joy. How do you love what you don't like?
Yeah, this is so juicy. Okay, so it's just an action to get you to the next level that you need to get to. It's not forever.
Right.
And when you look at it at that perspective, right, it's actually a shortcut. So do it now rather than later buys the time back.
Right. Yeah.
So this is, when he talks about studying time and relativity, in putting something off, you're prolonging it. It's agony. It's heavy. It's like the word try.
Right.
Okay? I'm trying to grab this glass. Oh my goodness, I'm grabbing the glass. I'm getting it done and it's over already.
Right. Getting through it. I love that.
Getting through it. Just like working out. If you want the results, who the heck likes working out? Not everybody loves working out, okay?
Very true.
I work out. I don't love it, but I do it because it gets me the results.
Right. And you get to work through a lot of that, and then some of it, I think, even there will ultimately become times where part of the working out even becomes something that you learn to enjoy. Right. You start to enjoy the squeeze.
100%.
Right.
It becomes a habit, like a habit that you can't live without. Then.
Right.
And that's with a foundation. That's part of the foundation is creating these new habits. Like, I want to share a little story about a client. He used to be an alcoholic. He's sober for several years now. I didn't get him sober. Of course, he got himself sober. I don't do that type of work.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to be clear. But he's sober, though he has this ache in him. He had this ache in him. And he started coming to me. And if we tap into what actually it took him to be clean, it's the same thing to get rid of that ache. It's the mindset. Put that to the mindset and you could relieve that as well. So he already has the blueprint. He just had to see the gaps in between.
Right. And that's awesome. Yeah. And congrats to him too, right? Sobriety is not easy. And it is a lifelong battle that happens once. It happens every day, right? You've got to reaffirm that every day. But then ultimately, like you said, the outcome is what you want, right? And that's where you get to serve others and you get to live a life where you're continuing to grow and to change the world. And that's super awesome for him. Really, really cool.
And the biggest thing is in the work that we do is we go to the core and you could see where the loop began.
Right.
And understand it and you could see it through the child's eyes and how it led to right now, here and now, and it rippled in your life. And now we interrupt it. So you don't feel that way. And it's like you become extremely present to now and what you're creating.
Right. And I love that. I love what you're describing, just because it's such a personal touch, right? It's especially having 12 clients a year, having that level of commitment to the men and women who work with you, to just be in that space. It's much different, right, than having 1,200 clients a year or something like that, right? It gives you a personal touch that's just got to be an incredible blessing for the people who are working with you.
I'm devoted to them. It's a devotion. It's a commitment. And it's to what they say they want. So it's up to them to create it. And that's why it's longevity, right? It's a longer program than you normally see. And it's a deep program. And it's really personal and intimate. And, it's through my own experience of healing that it's, been possible.
That's so awesome. Well, one of the things we talk about all the time here is just leadership in general. So obviously you have leadership in multiple facets of your life. But what do you feel like are the kind of some of the most important leadership lessons that you've learned, if you had those to share with somebody?
Yeah. Walk the talk. Be it. Be it. You are your best student, and teach people, right? Like, you are the example. I have 2 girls. That's one thing that I always said, that I am their example. I am the primary example of who I be.
Right.
Especially when I got divorced. I am the prime example. Also, I was in the political arena for 4 years. I worked for the mayor pro tem, and seeing, what wasn't working.
Right.
Where are our leaders building leadership? Not from ego, like, really building leaders. And what I'm saying is training up. How are you training them up instead of afraid of them being better than you?
Right.
And that goes for any arena.
Right. And that's something we talk about. One of the things I talk to a lot of people about is the definition of love, right? The definition of love is willing the good of the other, right? Acting in a way that's going to lift people up, that's going to make people better. And I think that training up, like you said, if all you're trying to do is make sure that they don't take your job, then that's way different than building somebody up and giving them an opportunity that they can have to go live life and be as successful as they can be, right? I think that's very, very cool.
That's love and abundance for me. That's true abundance. Abundance isn't the financial aspect. Abundance is from within. And one thing I'm going to quote David Messler, okay, is that there is enough. There is enough for everybody, and there's more than enough. And when you come from that place, that's when leadership happens. That's when world peace can happen. That's when, ego is you kill the ego.
Right.
When when you sit in your knowing. And if we can train, people to live free like that, it's a win-win.
Right. And then you start to have a world where people are lifting each other up everywhere they go, right? And you've got more than enough. You have what you need, and then you bring the people around you, and then they can build more people. A lot of that, I think that's just that's part of the service. That's part of loving your neighbor. It's part of what we should be called to do, really. And I think that's awesome. So very cool.
I love that you said that. That's part of loving your neighbor, because that was like a neighborhood that I came from, right? We looked out for each other. We took care of each other. We spoke the truth to each other. And I didn't find that when I came to Vegas, though.
Really?
Yeah.
A different world, huh? Mm-hmm.
Well, because I think it was so transient, and I had to build a new world.
Sure.
And there was a lot of cultural differences. Though now, with all the work that I do, I know how to be neutral.
Right.
Meet people where they're at.
Right.
Another thing, you need to learn to meet people where they're at to be a good neighbor.
Right. And that for sure. And the other thing to remember is, right, you don't really know yet, right? If you don't spend the time to get to know them, to get in, to be part of their life. How do you tell me a little bit about that? Like meeting somebody where they're at, what are your techniques? How do you get into that level, so that you can have meaningful relationships, right? Not relationships that are passing or relationships that are, one-sided, but really a meaningful relationship, like you're saying. How do you do that?
Always be a student.
Yeah.
And don't take things personally. It's not personal. It doesn't even always have to be a reflection. Just, be a student.
Right.
What is this teaching me? Be curious.
Right. And you find that the more curious you are, the more interesting people will tend to feel that you are, right? The more you ask questions, the more interesting they'll say you are.
Yes, exactly. And also it eases people
Right.
when we're more interested in what's going on with them.
Right.
And it's been a practice, right? Because let me tell you, I had New York spice to me, 23 years ago. It was spicy. I wasn't, as calm as I am. I have a lot of energy. And, I was also raised like, straightforward. Not everybody can digest that.
Right. No doubt. Well, what are things that are coming up next for you? What are you looking for as you were right at the beginning of 2026? What do you see for this year? What are kind of your plans as you move forward?
Well, I definitely like to be on more podcasts.
Nice.
Right. And sharing the message of how to create, better leadership, ease in life, peace in life, because we have so many, people who are doing so many great things, though they're still in a lot of noise and a lot of day-to-day running around. And it doesn't have to be that way if we really are intentional with our time. So I'm really excited about that.
Very cool.
I'm also excited, like I told you, I'm going to be on the West and East Coast just as much. I want to go back more often this year.
That's awesome. Lots of travel. I have
a 90-year-old father that lives out East. That's one of the reasons, but just because it energizes me as well.
That is awesome. Very, very cool. It was interesting. You talked about noise, right? And noise is one of those things that I think it's a concept. It's not just a concept. It's a real thing, right? We get distracted by so many different things, whether it's the internet, whether it's TV, whether it's the neighbors down the street. There's so much noise to distract you from what you're trying to do. How do you focus when that time comes? What are your techniques, especially even maybe for your clients? Like sometimes it's even internal noise, right? Like it's self-doubt and other things. But how do you block out the noise that's not serving you so that you can follow really the music that's leading you?
Yeah, this is awesome. So there's two things I want to share here. There's two aspects, right? It's our thoughts, feelings, and physical sensation, and then physical calendaring. Those are two separate things. Mm-hmm. So it's tapping in within, knowing our bodies, and knowing that, this is not how I want to live. Because when we're feeling uptight, anxious, or any of those things, that's creating disease, not just dis-ease, disease too. So how can I remain calm unless it's an extreme emergency and I need to be in that state of a response, but even staying calm in that state, okay?
Right.
So check those checks in. And what am I thinking about this? Knowing if it's working or not. So, right, thoughts, feelings, like how do I feel about this? And you'll feel it in the body somewhere. Somewhere is a messenger for you. And then calendaring. And this is where Dave comes in from me, right? I was always a calendar for everybody else in my life. I owned a hair salon. I had a calendar. When I worked at the mayor's office, we were always on strategic time. Then another type of entrepreneur that I became, right? Not brick and mortar, but just, out in the world like this and working from home, I had to be strategic. What Dave had taught me, negotiables and non-negotiables.
Absolutely.
On the next level, do you see what I mean? Like we could really fine tune our lives.
Right. And get your time back. Right. Time is super valuable. What do you, so obviously, both physically and mentally, you've got, and from a time standpoint, you have your non-negotiables. What do you have? You have a top 3, you have a top 1. What are your non-negotiables for each day? Because I know Dave and Nick and all the whole crew, they have their non-negotiables.
I do too now. I absolutely do. So sleep is a non-negotiable for me right now.
Awesome.
Definitely sleep. It's recovery. It removes the brain fog, and I'm clear. Jumping on my rebounder, the trampoline.
Nice.
Non-negotiable. It's fun. It loosens me up. It makes me feel free. Non-negotiable.
Very cool.
The third non-negotiable is drinking a lot of water for me. I require a lot of water, and it's a discipline.
Yes.
And it's no longer a negotiable. So, and of course, spending time with my girls is always really important, especially at the age that they're at. They're 18 and 21.
Awesome.
So having that quality time with them is most important.
So out both in school now or out working? What are they doing at 18 and 21?
Yeah. So at 21, my daughter, she's going to go to college now. She said she probably wants to go for nursing. And she said she didn't waste my money by choosing early on because she didn't know what she wanted to do. But she is a hostess at 8 Lounge, one of the top cigar lounges in Las Vegas at Resorts World. She's a hostess there for about 2 years.
Awesome.
And she's done. She doesn't like really the scene. She knows she's made for more. She's brilliant, I have to tell you.
That's awesome. Proud mom.
Doc, she is brilliant. And then the younger one is at UNR right now. And she's in business marketing for now and discovering what she wants to do.
Very cool. Well, I mean, it sounds like service is in your genes, right? I mean, serving through nursing, serving through your girls in school, which is awesome. My daughter's 13, and then I have a son who's 15 and a son who's 17. So we're just a little bit behind you in terms of these kids growing up. But my oldest is taking the SAT. He's going to be applying for colleges coming up this summer. So getting to do kind of some fun, cool stuff. I think he and my wife are going to go on a Honduras medical mission. He's thinking about he thinks he might want to be a dentist. So that's super cool. And then, yeah, my 15-year-old is a big time athlete, super, super bright, running like crazy. He does triathlons and whatnot. And then my daughter is in 7th grade. She's awesome. She could run the whole house. I think she could babysit both of her brothers. So
I apologize for that. Do you hear that ringing or no?
No, you're good. Yeah.
Okay.
All
I didn't
good.
know if you could hear it because it's coming off of my laptop.
No, I couldn't hear it. I've had a couple of dings on my laptop too, but I think it'll be something. Justin is a mastermind of working the cameras and the audio, so he'll be able to get it fixed for sure. So
Love that.
Very, very cool. Well, and kind of interestingly crazy, the pies made it to your house like in the minutes before we started. Isn't that nuts? So
I have to show the pie.
That
it's
is
right here, and there's a fork sticking out of it.
Yes.
Because I had to dig in before our episode because I needed to taste it.
I love it.
Amazing.
I love it. That's so cool. Yeah, I sent one to Nick. He was on while he was in Michigan with his family, and so I was able to like Google it and figure out where to go and send it to him. And then it was funny. I got a phone call, and I thought it might have, for some reason, I was like, "Oh, it's coming from Vegas. It must be you." And the guy was like, "What building are you in?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" So he was trying to find you. He was trying to find the place. So anyway, it worked out perfectly. I scheduled it to happen today, but I didn't have a time. So the fact that it showed up like in the minutes before we came on the air is so cool. So.
Oh, I was so grateful because imagine we were on, I'd be like running to the door.
Right.
Like,
right. Oh, that would have been crazy. But I think that's awesome. I'm super excited for you. I think that it's beautiful to get to know people who have a vision to serve others, right? Because really loving the people that you're with, not only your family, but also loving your clients and even the homes, right? Just building these foundational places. I think it's very inspirational. I think it's inspiring for both young men and young women, but not even just young people. I mean, everybody can benefit from having leaders and mentors who will show them where they can get better and how they can serve others. And so kudos to you for that. I think that's so amazing.
Yeah. The biggest is the inside healing for us to live free and whole. And it's 100% possible.
Right. And we see something, we're seeing something now that I think is so different for especially for young people. I talked with Rhett Power about it when we were in Fort Lauderdale. Like, I mean, these guys, these kids, right? He's got his new book, but it's Head of Mentals. I think he might've gotten you a copy of that, but
I've started reading it already.
But it's, they talk about that negative self-talk, and it's so hard, especially for young women, young men, 18, 21, 25, right? The world just seems so unknown. And I think figuring out a way that you can live in the present and you can be who you're supposed to be, is really, really going to be a challenge over the course of the next decade. As as my kids grow up, as your kids grow up, that's a big thing that I think, we're going to need people who can look and help people look inside and see what they can do to be better and to understand how valuable they are.
Yeah, so I want to bring something up there. What got me into this work was my own self-talk. It was detrimental. I grew up verbally abused by my sister, really bad, and really didn't get interrupted by my parents. It was kind of a hidden thing. So, and that's what led me to this transformational work. It was just like a whole awakening. And, now I love it. And also, seeing so many, knowing they're suffering, they have it all, right? And we see this in Hollywood and everywhere with these public figures. People are committing suicide.
Yep.
They have it all on the outside, but there's this internal battle.
No question. No question.
And there is help out there. The thing is, when people are at that point, they think there is no help, and there is.
Right.
There's always help before you even reach that point. Once you notice it, once you notice that ache, the ache is an invitation to all of us. And no matter what, none of us we're always going to have some ache. The thing is, if we work on our emotional intelligence and become present to what these feelings are, right? Because a lot of people back in the day are not taught about how to feel or this, or still today come from ego. They don't know the difference. This is not being taught in our schools. Yes, it's supposed to be taught in the home, but come on. You grew up in the 60s, 30s, we were in a different space.
Yeah, no question.
So Rhett's book is top notch.
Very good. I mean, what a blessing just to have you, right? This is amazing. I think
I'm honored. I'm so happy to be here with you.
So good.
I adore you. I adore what you do for people. I adore your personality.
Well, I appreciate that very much. We had a really fun time. Fort Lauderdale was super fun. We had a blast. All was well. It was a great opportunity to get to be on stage. We got to speak at a panel, at dinner time. And so that was really a blessing, and get to meet a lot of cool people, which was awesome. So great people in the crowd there. And so I've never been to Fort Lauderdale, so that was my first time to visit there too.
Oh, nice. So, I've been to Fort Lauderdale when I was younger, but last year I went to Aspire with Dave.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
It was a nice crowd. I have to tell you that I like the more intimate crowds. I'm a more intimate crowd person.
Yeah.
A smaller stage. I think it's like so overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
The bigger, though, amazing. Yeah. It's a fun time.
It was
so many people.
It was a massive production, but it was super, super cool. I really enjoyed it. I thought it, you just get to have one experience after the other, right? And that's it. You just keep building and keep building and keep building. And I think that's cool. That's just part of life, and a little bit of fear that people have, whether they're trying something new or doing something, getting over that is a big key. So.
Yeah, no, I love them all. I love all the experiences that I get to go. I usually, follow Dave around. So
yes.
Where he's at, whether it's New York, I do a lot of events there, Florida. Like I have this triangle that I kind of like.
Yes,
and
I love it.
I could fit Texas in the triangle.
That's right.
As well.
You can come to Houston. We can turn it into like a diamond. Very nice. Very nice. Well, before we go, let me have you tell people where they can find you, right? Whether they want to be clients or if they just want to follow you. Let's have you tell everybody where they can find you, and then we'll get you rocking and rolling. Yeah, well, I'm open with my phone number. The phone is always at hand. I feel it's the best way. So that way, 702-300-9075. Though my Instagram, Marianne Rombola, that's my Instagram. And also my website, which is going on an overhaul in the next month. A big overhaul happening there, which I'm excited about. And that's MarianneRombola.com. That is so awesome. Well, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for blessing us with being here. I think that you're an amazing person. You're doing amazing work. I love all of your message, starting from the beginning, starting from the foundation, working your way up. I think that's so great. So thank you so much for being with us. And this is Slice of Piefer. Thanks for being here.
Love it.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Have a great one. I don't know if you can hear. There's applause happening. There'll be some applause on the actual video.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Have a great one. It's good to see you.
I love to work with anybody, you and your community. So
absolutely.
Okay, darling.
Will do.
How I can support you here.
You got it. Absolutely. Okay. Will do. Have a great one. Good to see you. All right. Bye-bye.